Caitlin Clark did this a week before Angel Reese did it. They said her passion. Look at her. She's amazing. She's going all the way with it. Angel Reese does it. Oh my God, she's just so cocky. We don't like. It's ridiculous. It's hating. Outspoken black people, athletes is hated by white America as the masses of it, not the whole, but the masses of it is, and not even just white America. It's people that are not black that don't understand what we've been through to get to this point, to get out of what we were at, to get to this spot of being successful and possibly make some money and not have to be outside in the streets. Angel Reese is about to have a successful career. She don't have to be a great player because she's not a great basketball player in WNBA. I don't think she will be, but she's a name. She's one of the biggest faces in women's basketball. She is one of the biggest faces, and so is Caitlin Clark. Caitlin Clark is even bigger. Caitlin Clark deserves everything she got. There's no hate from me, from Caitlin Clark. But it is some black people that hate Caitlin because of that. I'm not going to admit that. Not me, though. And not as many as white people that hate Angel Reese. I think it's horrible. I think anyone's laughing at her crying because she's playing a villain, supposedly, is nuts. Because anybody gets a death threat, I don't care what you were doing. You deserve to feel how you feel if you're receiving death threats. I don't need nobody to show me no proof. I don't need none of that. If you told me you got a death threat, I'm taking it for what it is. And if you're lying, that's on you. But I'm gonna have empathy towards you having death threats towards you. That's a 21-year-old female, white or black.
Talk to him. You can go, Yvonne.
Okay. So, like I said, I was saying from the start that I don't even know. I'm not black, obviously, so I don't know if you guys like when someone says, like Rick just said, when a white athlete acts and has a black persona. Are y'all offended by that? Are y'all okay with that?
I love it.
Because see, I
see it. It is not.
But see, the thing is, like, I feel like a lot of black people I know don't like that. That's deemed that way. True. So that's what confuses me.
You mean like somebody saying, "Oh, he acting black"?
Right.
Yeah, like, I get what you're saying. Yeah. But what Reek was saying, we talking about the swag with it, the stuff the stuff that we embrace, we embrace that. We embrace the brashness when you score a touchdown, pounding your chest. Yeah, man, we embrace that stuff. That's the stuff that we know that we brought to the game. That stuff didn't exist before we came out. Cam Newton doing the Superman and all this, man, all those things, that's what we brought to the game. So when we do see a Johnny Manziel who's wearing the same number as Cam and says that he's doing all of that because he loved Cam Newton, we understand that that's where it's coming from. It's not like, oh, he acting black because he rapping or, you know what I'm saying? It's nothing like that. So I get what you're saying, but nah, that's cool. I know myself. I can't speak for all black people, but I don't take it offensive.
Me neither.
Well, okay. Because I know some do, so that's my thing. But here's my thing. I liked Cam Newton, so I mean, still do. I actually hated Tom Brady. I rooted against Tebow. I liked Manziel because Manziel to me was just a fun player to watch. I didn't like Baker Mayfield because he's a Sooner and I'm a Longhorn. So that's obvious reasons there. So I never saw it as a black-white thing. Obviously, I'm not blind. If I'm watching the game, I know who's black and I know who's white, but I never saw it that way. Now, for the white people that are trolling online and doing that, that is wrong. Because they just need to realize it's just sports. There's nothing more to it there. Like I was saying earlier, I don't like the death threats though. That's a little that's when you go over the top. I forgot who I was watching the documentary on. I want to say it was Manziel, and he said when he beat Alabama, his phone was nothing but death threats. Nothing but death threats. And he's a white dude, obviously. So my thing about Angel Reese, I don't care about. I don't even care about her showboating. I don't care. I like that. I've always said I want rivalries to exist. It's just I feel like when you play victim after that is what I don't like. It's just like I would stand on my 10 toes even after I take that L. And I'd be like, look, like they played better. We were showboating weeks ago. We got our ass kicked and we deserve to go home. So I just felt like she went from showboating to playing victim real quick. And you said, Reek, Caitlin Clark does the same thing. Well, same thing. If she takes an L and she's crying and saying, oh, I'm not being treated right on online. I'm be like, bruh, shut up, straight up. So that's my only thing. The death threats are over the top, but if you're gonna showboat and all that on the court, I don't want playing victim after you take the L. That's my whole thing here with Angel Reese.
Let me get some of that. All right. So you mentioned two things that didn't have anything to do with each other. Her showboating and her crying at the press conference had nothing to do with each other. She responded to a question, which the question was, "How has your journey been, good and bad?" So she got emotional talking about her journey after her winning the championship.
She was crying before that. See,
yeah. All right. What I'm saying, yeah, exactly. So what I'm saying is she responded to a question, which when she started talking about the death threats and everything else. It wasn't just, hey, y'all lost, how you feel? Oh man, people try to talk about they trying to kill me and all that kind of stuff. It was not that. And that didn't have anything to do with her showboating the game before that you're referring to or whatever. And I'm saying this thing right here, man. If she'd have had a loss and had to win in there and been making all kinds of excuses, which she did not, I could understand what you were saying. But her going in there playing victim, she's not playing victim. She's actually a victim. It's not nothing playing
That's
the
good.
shit, right? So when you look at it like that, you can't just because two things happen, that don't mean they go together. She was upset at the press conference, not because she's playing victim because she just lost. It was because they asked her that question, and they did get out there losing, which is probably why she was crying early in the press conference because her college career was over. She knew that then, and she loved it. She obviously loved LSU, loved being here, the whole team and everything. And I think for a person like her, Rika, Ricky said that you think Caitlin Clark was bigger than her. I do not agree.
I think she is.
I think when people think about women's basketball right now, the first person they think about is Angel Reese. Now,
I disagree.
I totally disagree.
better than her, Caitlin Clark better than her, yes. But I guarantee you that good or bad, when people think about when you put two pictures up on the screen and they talk about women's basketball, they talking about Angel Reese and LSU in this. That's what they talking about. That's what brought this attention. That's why that game had 13 million people watching it.
Both of them had it, not just one.
I know Angel Reese has way more followers on Instagram. It's not even close.
Right.
Millions more.
Right. And so when we say who's bigger, I really do believe Angel Reese is bigger. That's not me being a homer. That's just me, like you said, men lie, women lie, numbers don't. Yeah, more followers.
Can I give you a 20-second rebuttal to that? If Angel Reese was bigger, she would have got a $5 million offer to be in the Big Three.
No, she's not better.
No,
she's not better.
It don't matter about no.
Yes, it does.
No.
Yes,
Let me tell you why it doesn't matter, because both of them not going to do nothing in the Big Three if they went there. They're both not going to score like that in there. The men are too big and too strong. They brought it because Caitlin Clark's going to bring people to put their butts in the seats. That's why they're also $5 million. No. But it don't matter, because
also better on top of that.
Both of them will suck in the Big Three. So it doesn't matter who's better.
But
so the
reason
talking
about a whole,
let me ask you this.
You're talking about a whole different demographic. You're talking about a whole different demographic.
One reason only. Who's going to put butts in seats to make them money? Caitlin will make them the most money.
No,
not Angel Reese.
Angel Reese will get what Angel Reese will get. It wouldn't even be. It'll be ugly in the Big Three because of her game.
Why not offer her then? Why not offer it to her then? It's about money. It's not
about
who
you offer her there. It's not going to. Nobody would want to see her get beat up down there in the paint.
Both of them getting beat up.
Game is rebounding and putbacks.
Caitlin Clark can't go past a man after that's 45 plus that's from the NBA that plays in the NBA. Not one of them. She's not doing nothing in that league. She's not scoring the points.
She's a better player.
She has a shooter's chance.
She ain't scoring nothing
on the court.
Them guys to go take the personal and put that little girl on her back. She's not going nowhere.
You're right, but she has a chance because she can shoot. Angel has no chance. Everybody knows that.
She ain't doing nothing. It's about the seats and the butts in them seats. And Caitlin Clark got offered $5 million when them people only average 12,000. The men in there get paid 12,000 a game. They offer $5 million for the season.
It's about that in a way. Who would survive being in the big three? And Caitlin Clark's game translates to where she could possibly play with those guys. Angel Reese, her game didn't translate to be able to be down there banging, trying to rebound with those old ass men. No way, bro. There's no way she can do it.
Both of them are seat fillers.
Go ahead, Max. I want you to go first, Keo. Go ahead.
Okay, so Angel Reese, man, I don't hate Angel Reese. I don't have a problem with Angel Reese. We did this topic last year, and my energy was the same how I felt towards Angel Reese. You know, if I disagree with her or not. She played the villain. End of story. Nobody's gonna debate that. She embraced the villain role. You know, waving the bye, throwing up the L. She's saying, "Yo, we from LSU. We some dogs over here." That's what they say. LSU say that. Angel Reese says that.
They are some dogs.
And you're right.
Don't play with them.
And playing the villain role, there's certain responsibilities when you play this villain role. You got to know what comes with it when you play this villain role. And the online death threats, I'm not okay with that. I don't think nobody should receive online death threats, but I think the best thing you should do when it comes to situations like this, and I think that's what you should teach younger people that's coming up in this game, if it comes to music, sports, that log off, ignore what they say on social media. These stuff that's going on right now, it's what's happening on social media right now, and a lot of people have embraced that, played the villain role. We've seen Floyd Mayweather. A lot of people hate Floyd Mayweather, but that dude embraces it. And when it comes to this, is she's winning, and she's good. She's a box office. People want to see her. When people go to these games, they don't go just to see LSU. They go because they want to see LSU lose. That's why they go to these games. And another thing, when it comes to situations like this about receiving death threats and what goes on social media, because all the stuff that she deals with is on social media. It's not on the basketball court. It's on social media. And for me, I'm probably the most hated person on the MBS team, man. Everybody hates me, man. I'm not gonna say everybody hates me, but when it comes to my opinions on certain things, when it comes to battle rappers, to sports, it's not the most popular opinion. People don't agree with it. Reek and X hit me up all the time on the side and be like, "Yo, you out of line with this. You're wilding with this." But I still stand on it though, and I'll take the heat for it. I love the hate. X tells me all the time. He was like, "Yo, you love this hate right now, man." I actually do. I love it, and I just think she needs to learn how to deal with it. And I feel like after that loss, I feel like it was more emotional what happened, because you it's an emotional game. You end up losing to the person that beat you last year, and then you said what you said, and I feel like it was just the wrong time to say it. Now, if you would have won that game, I don't think she would have said that. I don't think she would have felt that way. And I think everything was built, and it was just a bad timing to do that, man. And I feel like if you play that role, you're gonna be that bad guy. You're gonna play that villain role, and I think you got to realize what comes with it. And I don't think she was ready and prepared what came with it when it came to being a villain and embracing that villain role.
Man, hold on. One thing before you go, X. All right. You said that she should just log off, right? So we all know that Caitlin Clark, I mean not Caitlin Clark. We know that Angel Reese, she's one of the highest paid NIL women out there, right? So she gets her money from that. You're essentially telling her to not go to work for being on being on social media. That's you know what that sounds like to me? Just say no. Just say no.
What?
How'd that work out for people with the Just Say No program? That there has to be some realistic commentary on this, man. Just telling the person to log off. She shouldn't have to log off. She makes some money. Everybody should be free to be on social media as she is. She shouldn't have to be exposed to having death threats and all that. Whether she's playing the villain, because I'm sure she didn't choose to be the villain. She was thrust into that position. They made her the villain. They made her the villain and made Caitlin Clark the good guy, I guess.
Yep.
So
Exactly.
So if she didn't go out and say, "Hey, I want to be the villain," she didn't do anything to become a villain. All she did was win and do the exact same thing that the hero did.
Caitlin Clark did. Yep.
So
and Clark did to Van Lith the round before last year.
No, but right after they won that title, it was just her action on like going towards into the season, like in that UCLA game. She told that coach to shut up, keep my name out your mouth.
Well, the coach told us something. You don't have to say anything back.
And the LSU coach had to hold her back.
Okay, so let me just answer your question, because we can sit on this topic for the rest of the show, really, if we wanted to, because we all gonna have our own opinions. You asked, was she playing the victim, correct? That was the question?
No, was that just one of your thoughts on it?
Okay, well, the interview, the post conference was a little over 10 minutes long. When they asked her that question, that was like 7 minutes into the interview. We're into the post conference back and forth. So in that interview, if you watch the whole thing, she said they tried to bring up her ankle. She said, "No, that's not. We lost. They were a better team tonight." She said that. If you go back and watch the video, and then they asked Flau'jae and Van Lith, "Tell us about the journey your teammates been on." And you know, in all sports, when it comes to especially college sports, Juju was crying after the game. She was crying after the game too. They lost, like C said. She knew she was leaving that LSU, so she was crying before that. They asked Flau'jae and them. They said, "Tell us about Angel Reese's journey up until this point." So she got really emotional when they started speaking, and then they doubled back and they asked Angel Reese, and that's when Angel Reese said kind of what her journey's been like. She didn't bring this stuff up. She didn't just go to the podium and say, "This is what's happening." They asked her a question like C said. And
her teammates brought it up. Teammates brought it up.
Yes, the teammates brought up the journey as well.
They asked her good and bad.
I don't think she was playing the
victim. Did you really have to answer it like that? I mean, you don't have to answer it.
All she said was what she said. And then at the very end, if you watch the whole video, I told Caitlin Clark, "Congratulations, you're a great player. Go win the championship." That's what she said. She didn't make an excuse. All she said was, "People are sending me death threats." Well, you played it. I don't have to say it all over again. You just played it for everybody. But that was 7 minutes into the post conference. That's it was. Like, that's what I'm saying. I don't think necessarily she was playing a victim. And I told you this off air, Keo. I don't even see why we're even talking about this. That's what's crazy to me.
X, this is what it is, X. The people that dislike Angel Reese went into when they say she lost, I can't wait to hear what she's going to say. And when they heard that snippet, not the whole 2 minutes, but that snippet, oh, she's playing victim. She's not playing victim at all. Number one, as an officer, any threat, especially death threat, that's a crime. Let's just be clear about that. That's actually a crime. You can go to jail for that. That's a crime. She's getting those. Like most athletes are. Or stars. They're getting those in their inbox all day. So this is a norm for all of them. Everyone handles it differently. We can't talk about how Mayweather handles it because you don't really know how Mayweather handles it. All you see is what he's saying is, "I get this money, whatever." You don't know if he really takes that inside. He walks around with freaking armed security. That's huge. 99% of his life, 100% while he's sleeping. It's the reason why. Because of those death threats he's get like for crazy for the past 15, 20 years. Yeah, so that's the action. That's a reaction to the action of the death threats. Or he wouldn't have that much security around him all the time.
And she never said that they were just online threats.
Right.
You know what I mean? When people go into these arenas, fans are yelling all kinds of crazy stuff at you. You know what I'm saying? I'm sure she's had people give her threats as she walked into an arena, especially in a place like going into Iowa and all that kind of stuff. Come on, man. That's a 21-year-old young lady. I don't care what color she is, what team she plays for. Women, you have to treat that's not a child, but it's damn near a child, bro.
And I'll even add to that as far as this, like, and I'll even flip it on Caitlin Clark, like, in a sense. Like, they have people talking crazy about Caitlin Clark. Like, come on, man. Like, we got to do better as people, man. Talking crazy about Angel Reese or Caitlin Clark. We had a phenomenal game that happened. Caitlin Clark dropped 41. She balled out. And we're talking about the press conference after the game. Like, that is crazy to me.
And those two young ladies have changed the perspective on women basketball, period. Not just college women, the WNBA as well. Because I guarantee you, the viewership when those two young ladies get into the WNBA next year is going to skyrocket. I'll probably watch my first WNBA game.
Don't do that. See, I gotta get Brian to watch some WNBA.
Man, the last full WNBA game I watched was the Sparks versus the Liberty with Rebecca Lobo.
Come on,
the absolutely first WNBA game. And I was like, man, these girls ain't dunking.
Hey, I got a quick question. I got a quick question for y'all. Quick question. Would y'all say Juju is close to popular as Angel Reese and Caitlin Clark right now?
Not yet. No.
Not yet.
But she's box office to where it's must see TV, right? If they right.
Look at it this way, right? If Caitlin Clark and Angel Reese didn't exist, would we be watching Juju? I don't think so.
I would.
But that's a different scenario. But that's a different scenario because I get what you're saying, but that's a different scenario. I'm just saying because I feel like Juju was a big draw as well. People was ready to watch her and what's the other girl name from UConn? They was ready to watch that too. Like everyone didn't turn the TV off. Like I don't know what the ratings was for that game, but I'm sure it was pretty high as well for that UConn versus USC game. So my reason for saying that is if Juju would have played against LSU instead of Caitlin Clark, Iowa and LSU, they would have been talking about how great of a game it was, rather than this bullshit we're talking about right now. But because it's black and white people, and that's on the black people too. It's not just on white people because white people, some people, it's Angel Reese, and we know Caitlin Clark is better than Angel Reese. I don't care what color you are. We can see that with Braille. If the game was played in Braille, we can see that she's better. Like so, it's just a fact of we're like, oh, Angel Reese black. Look, she got big hair. We love. I don't give a fuck what she is. I like her and I like Caitlin Clark. If I'm being honest, I like to watch both of them, and I like Juju. But the fact of it was like let's take it back. When's the last time we had a basketball white versus black matchup of two stars or big faces? It's been a while. It's probably been Magic. It's probably been Magic and Bird, and it's been a long time. And I felt like Black America was like, we're not letting them take this from us. And I felt like White America was like, we're back. And it was like a big bump of a head of clashing. And it was and this is why they made this big spectacle of what it is. And I don't think it should have been that. It should have been we got two great teams playing with two great players with big names playing, and it should have been left at that, and it wasn't. This villain thing, this is not a comic book. A villain in real life, not a comic book. She's not the Joker. None of the people like you don't want to kill this lady. You can not like her and like her game, but shouldn't want to kill this lady. We decide, and that's where it got taken to, and that's where it got bad.